Iran and Israel, two names that strike fear into the hearts of many around the world. Their animosity has led to proxy wars, terror attacks, and most recently, the kidnapping of an Israeli woman by Iran-backed militants. Now everyone's waiting with bated breath. Will Israel retaliate? Could this be the spark that ignites a larger conflict? Before we get into it, remember to hit that subscribe button for more updates. Alright, let's dive right in. In today's episode, we're breaking down 7 key facts about the recent escalation between Iran and Israel, a conflict that's been brewing for decades. We'll explore their long-standing hostility, Iran's nuclear ambitions, Israel's covert operations, and the potential for this conflict to spiral into something much bigger. Starting off with number 1, the cycle of distrust. This animosity didn't start with the current Iranian government. The roots of the conflict can be traced back to the 1979 Iranian Revolution. During this time, a religious leader named Ayatollah Khomeini overthrew the country's UN-backed Shah, plunging Iran into a political and social upheaval. This revolution had a profound impact on Iran's foreign policy. The new Islamic regime was fundamentally opposed to the West and its allies, seeing them as imperialists. And among its fiercest critics was the State of Israel, which it labeled the Zionist regime, accusing it of being a colonial project aimed at displacing Palestinians. This confrontation with Iran was pivotal because it set the stage for decades of animosity between Iran and the West, particularly the United States and its allies. The fallout from the revolution led to the severance of diplomatic ties between Iran and the US, as well as strained relations with Europe. Furthermore, Iran's denunciation of Israel as a colonial regime and support for Palestinian causes intensified the existing tensions in the region. By labeling Israel as illegitimate and a usurper of Palestinian land, Iran effectively aligned itself with various Palestinian militant groups, further complicating the already volatile Middle Eastern political landscape. This legacy of distrust has left a lasting impact on Iran's foreign policy, shaping its approach towards the West and its staunch support for anti-Israel groups. Moving on to number 2, Iran's support for anti-Israel militants. Iran's strong backing of militant groups like Hamas is a major sticking point between Iran and Israel. Hezbollah and Islamic Jihad, all of which have a history of attacking Israeli targets. Iran provides these groups with financial aid, military training, and in some cases, advanced weaponry. For instance, Iran supplies both Hamas and Islamic Jihad with rockets and missiles, which have been used in numerous attacks against Israeli cities. Similarly, Iran's support for Hezbollah, a powerful Shia militia based in Lebanon, has been instrumental in bolstering Iran's influence in the region. By backing these groups, Iran effectively creates a ring of fire around Israel, fueling regional instability and raising concerns about Iran's intentions. Israel views this support as a direct challenge to its security and existence, leading to a continuous cycle of hostility and mistrust. It's a powder keg just waiting for the right spark to ignite. Alright, moving on to number 3, Israel's secret strikes in Syria. As tensions escalate along the Israel-Syria border, Israel has been conducting covert strikes in Syria targeting Iranian and Hezbollah assets. These strikes have become a regular occurrence, with hundreds carried out since 2012. Israel's rationale behind these strikes is to prevent Iran from establishing a permanent military presence near Israel's border and to disrupt the transfer of advanced weapons such as precision-guided missiles, PGMs, to Hezbollah in Lebanon. While Israel operates with secrecy surrounding these missions, it's believed that they involve airstrikes and drone attacks on Iranian and Hezbollah targets. These actions are part of Israel's broader strategy known as Ma'alet Rots, meaning cutting the ring. The aim of this strategy is to encircle and isolate Iran and its allies, hindering their ability to threaten Israel. Moving on to number 4, the nuclear dilemma. Iran's nuclear program has been a persistent source of tension in the region. Israel has long been suspicious of Iran's intentions regarding its nuclear capabilities. Concerns escalated when in 2002, Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon revealed to the United States and the world that Iran had been secretly developing nuclear weapons in violation of international agreements. This revelation sparked a series of events including United Nations Security Council resolutions and economic sanctions aimed at curbing Iran's nuclear ambitions. Israel has consistently viewed Iran's nuclear program as an existential threat, fearing that Iran could use nuclear weapons against it. This perspective is rooted in historical experiences such as the Holocaust during World War II, when European powers failed to protect Jewish people, resulting in the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews by Nazi Germany. Israel's fears are also heightened by Iran's vocal support for the destruction of Israel and its open calls for a genocidal annihilation of all Jews in Israel. This combination of factors has led Israel to take a hard line on Iran's nuclear program. All right, moving on to number 5, a critical turning point. On April 2024, a significant event occurred that raised the stakes dramatically. Israeli fighter jets reportedly targeted a site deep within Iran, while Iran initially claimed that the attack did not cause any casualties or damage. If indeed Israeli jets penetrated Iranian airspace and struck a site linked to Iran's ballistic missile program, it marks a bold and unprecedented move by Israel. Such an action would signify a shift in Israel's strategy and could be seen as a message of deterrence. Historically, Israel has primarily conducted strikes within Syria targeting Iranian assets. However, carrying out strikes on Iranian soil, especially those related to its ballistic missile program, would constitute a more direct and provocative action. This incident underscores the growing tensions between Iran and Israel and highlights the complexity of the situation. It remains to be seen how Iran will respond and what further implications this incident will have on the already strained relationship between the two nations. All right, moving on to no. 6. The U.S.N. factor. As a strong ally of Israel, the United States plays a significant role in the ongoing tensions with Iran. The U.S.N. commitment to Israel's security is a cornerstone of their bilateral relationship and a key factor contributing to the complex dynamics between Iran and Israel. The United States has provided military aid, technological assistance, and diplomatic support to Israel. This backing has enabled Israel to build a strong defense apparatus and has often provided Israel with a sense of security to take certain actions. However, the U.S.N.'s role also places it in a delicate position. Any escalation between Iran and Israel could potentially drag the U.S.N. into the conflict due to its alliances and commitments. This risk is a major concern for the U.S.N. as it seeks to avoid a wider regional war. The U.S.N. has significant military assets in the Middle East, including air bases and naval vessels. These assets could be at risk in the event of a larger conflict. Additionally, the U.S.N. has a history of being drawn into conflicts due to its alliances. For example, the Vietnam War and the Iraq War demonstrate how U.S.N. involvement in regional conflicts can escalate rapidly. Given its close ties to Israel, the U.S.N. has faced challenges in balancing its commitment to Israel's security with the need to prevent a wider war involving Iran. This delicate balancing act adds another layer of complexity to the already tense situation. And finally, number 7, a larger global impact. The implications extend far beyond the immediate region. A full-scale war between Iran and Israel would likely draw in regional allies and could quickly spiral into a wider conflict. The Arab world could be divided into opposing camps, each supporting either Iran or Israel. This could lead to a broader regional war, destabilizing the entire Middle East. Furthermore, the conflict would undoubtedly involve proxy groups and non-state actors. Iran and Israel have numerous militant allies and supporters who could become involved. These groups may include Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthi rebels, and various jihadist organizations. Their participation would not only escalate the violence, but also introduce unconventional tactics and increase the civilian toll. The global impact of such a war would be profound. Both Iran and Israel have strategic partners and allies around the world. As the conflict widens, it could draw in countries from different regions, escalating the war beyond the Middle East. The possibility of the conflict drawing in major world powers cannot be ruled out. The Cold War era saw proxy conflicts between the Soviet Union and the United States. Similarly, Iran and Israel could become proxies in a larger struggle involving global powers. This could lead to a devastating global war with far-reaching consequences. In conclusion, the conflict between Iran and Israel is a complex and multifaceted issue with deep historical roots and far-reaching implications. From Iran's support for anti-Israel militant groups to the contentious nuclear issue, the animosity between these two nations has fueled instability in the Middle East. The recent incidents of rocket attacks and the threat of further escalation highlight the urgency of finding peaceful solutions. The involvement of external powers, particularly the United States, adds another layer of complexity. As a staunch ally of Israel, the USN is committed to Israel's security. However, it also has interests in preventing a wider regional war. Striking a balance between these commitments is a delicate challenge for USN diplomacy. The potential consequences of a full-scale conflict are alarming. A war between Iran and Israel could destabilize the entire Middle East, draw in regional and global powers, and result in a devastating humanitarian crisis. It is imperative that the international community, including the United Nations and key global players, work tirelessly to mediate a lasting solution. The path to peace requires addressing the core issues, promoting dialogue, and building trust between the nations involved. All right, that's a wrap on today's episode. We hope you found it informative and engaging. Before you go, remember to hit that subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback is invaluable and helps us create more insightful content for you. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you in the next one.